after the first shoot. Hofer in third place, so 5 targets down, and the Italian might find himself on the podium. Take your time. These are the 2 tough ones. Nice steady position, good concentration, and Lukas Hofer has given himself every chance of taking a win here in Khanty-Mansiysk. Watch the clock. Birnbacher out in 17:27. Here comes Hofer. He's well inside. The Italian takes the lead, and now he's just got to hope that Martin Fourcade misses a target on his second shoot. There is a chance.
There is a chance. The bad news for Hofer at 5.9 kilometres. Fourcade has extended his 15 to 23 seconds. He is on fire. The man doesn't know how to take it easy.
But he might pay a price on the last lap. Lau Bailey with a good clear shoot today. Now he just has to sit and wait and see how many people can match his time. Some will, I'm absolutely certain of that. Hofer, I think, is going to take him to the cleaners, because Hofer 21 seconds clear of Lau Bailey after that second shoot, as you can see there on your screen. Birnbacher, Graf in second and third at the moment. Norway won't be happy. Svensson their best down in 10th. Andre Morovitz, Mike, you were obviously fairly hopeful he was going to do something today. 46 seconds down, despite the fact that he's only missed one.
Don't know what happened. He started well. His first loop was immaculate. He led the first loop for a long way, but not on fire today, sadly for him. Now remember the finishing positions as we have a look across the plains. Just thousands or millions of square kilometres of silver birch forest. It's a fantastic experience, and I think that's looking out over the river, some 3 kilometres wide, solid ice, and yeah, quite an experience. And the amazing thing, that river flows for another 1,000 kilometres north into the Kara Sea, I believe it's called, and then 2,000 kilometres to Moscow, east obviously.
Now, Martin Fourcade, win number 8, already in the bag. This will be win 9 if this last target goes down. He's got it. He's got it, and the celebrations start already. He knows he's 23 seconds clear. Life must be fun when he makes it look so easy, and he can just stroll around the last lap. Martin Fourcade, 17:22, the time he's after, coming out of the stadium. He's going to be 28 seconds clear. That's a ludicrous amount.
How does he do that? It's just outstanding. Even at Biathlon at his best, I think you'll agree, this man would match maybe Biathlon when Biathlon was at his best. Mazet thinks it's brilliant. Siggy will be partying tonight.
Yeah, he sent the message out to the French camp that they've got another victory already, and you just have to admire what he's managed to do. And maybe the most impressive thing that Fourcade has done all season is the fact that he's kept it going pretty much all the way through the year.
His worst day, this is now what, 10 sprint races, his worst day has been 16th and then a 10th. The rest have all been in the top 5. It's just beyond belief how you can maintain that level of fitness and technique and ability and hitting the targets from the end of November until now.
Yeah, so that's 24 races and only twice out of the top 10, but over 50% on the podium. No wonder he's the champion for this year. Birnbacher, another good race for him.
Yeah, I think Andy should be pleased with that. It looked like at one point where he could place on the podium. Maybe he'll still remain there. But, well, it's not likely, of course.
25:06.
Second place now.
Yeah, the winning time here last year, just under 25 minutes. In 2010, I think it was 24:24. Slowest sprint we've had this season. Would you like to predict which venue produced the slowest sprint?
Slowest?
With a clear shoot?
Oh, let me get my mind around that. Would it be the World Champs?
It wouldn't be.
And it would be?
It would be Oslo, 25:44.
Surprise.
Won by Terje Bo. And the quickest by some margin was Ruhpolding, 23:51. In fact, no, Antolz, 22:45. So we're looking for a winning time today of certainly under 25 minutes. I think closer to 24 minutes, the way that Fourcade is going.
Shooting the perfect score and almost a minute behind. It will be more than a minute when Fourcade comes in. They will be asking questions. Why are the Russians not skiing faster?
Is it their skis? Is it the preparation of their skis?
And if Fourcade can extend his lead to, what, 45 seconds, you can pretty much nail him on as the winner for tomorrow's pursuit. And that raises the question that Kevin says, what about changing the format for the pursuit? Yes, start the winner of the sprint first, but have a certain set time margin between first, second and third. Let's say, for instance, 5 seconds in between each of them, and then the rest of the athletes start just 1 second behind each other. And that means you'd get roughly 1 minute 15, 1 minute 20 between the first starter and the last. There wouldn't be any congestion on the range, but instead of having just 10 people realistically going for the win, you'd have at least 20, perhaps even 25.
Do you know, that's really interesting. I know that the IBU are not thinking of changing the starting order. They're saying what happens today, that's how you're starting tomorrow, and that's the way it's been since this was introduced in '97. But I think that's an interesting point. It would give those who've had a bad day, it would still keep them in the race and alive tomorrow.
Well, let's get the letters written and sent off today, because I think today is going to be a very good example of where it doesn't really work, because someone's success in the sprint has almost guaranteed them success in the pursuit. Simonetta, 13.5 outside. Well, the Austrians certainly coming to form later in the season, Mike. Do you think that will mean that they change their training for the summer? They just say, OK, let's bring everything forward 3 weeks. And that should mean that we're on form come the end of February for the Olympic Games.
Yeah, next year, it's only a 4-year cycle, of course, the Olympic Games. And the Austrians traditionally, I know we've had some bad publicity for the Austrians 2006 at the Olympic Games, but traditionally they do really raise their form for the Olympic Games, and that they will be putting that as a priority again.
Lukas Hofer looking for some space, trying to go past, just picking out on that. Is that number 15? I think Dolly's blasted past number 18, of course, Lukas Hofer, and that's a good gain of 3 or 4 seconds on that climb, showing that he is well aware of the fact that he's in a position to challenge for a podium. After the second shoot, Lukas Hofer is in second place, and he had a 5-second lead over Andy Birnbacher, and Birnbacher certainly produced a strong final lap, so Hofer is going to have to fight for this. Just another 150 metres to go for Lukas Hofer. The stadium here redesigned again, Mike. There used to be a big bridge that they had to climb up and go over. That's all been flattened out. I think in a way that's a shame. A last test.
It was, and especially having climbed up that horrible steep hill, and then you come, but you even onto the flat, you have to try and keep your technique and your momentum, and I think Hofer's doing it so well.
25.06 the time he's after. He's inside. He is inside. Great racing, and he's maintained the margin that he had ahead of Birnbacher, and I think Hofer now knows that he's going to be on the podium. He may be aware of Martin Fourcade. Once he knows that the Frenchman's gone clear, he'll know he hasn't got a chance. But that was a good lap. Last we heard of Fourcade, he was 24 seconds clear, so he's lost 4 or 5 seconds on the last lap to the Italian.
I tell you what, Hofer, we've often said it, the day he shoots clear, I know we mentioned he did it in Antholz, he finished 7th, but he's got his ski speed back, and in his mind, hitting all 10 targets, he knows he can win, but it does mean Fourcade has to make one mistake, and he so rarely makes any mistakes.
Yeah, Hofer's been consistent over the last couple of weeks. He had a dreadful start to the season, 77th, 72nd. He looked pretty average, but we've always known his potential. Kazar on the stand has thrown one wide. Schlesinger only 20 seconds outside. Had he gone clear, he would have beaten Lukas Hofer. So his form is still there.
Still there. He's dropped it compared to this time last year. He was ranked 14th. He's now 23rd. He'll improve a little with his good performance today, but it hasn't been a magical season for Michael. And well, next year, of course, the Olympics changes so much. Well,
here comes
the world #1, Martin Fourcade, still under 24 minutes, 25:02 the time he's after, maybe another 30 seconds maximum out on the tracks, round the final corner, and he is heading for victory #9. He knows he's got this one. What a season he's had, what a season.
Well, he threw 1 second away there with his little move to the left, but look at that margin. That's a huge margin for tomorrow in the pursuit.
Well, he's gained 15 seconds on that final climb into the stadium over everyone. We didn't get to see it on the screen, but he has blasted up the last hill, and he looks in very good shape. There's no doubt he's going to be surviving all the way through the Sunday. Can he do the triple here and get the win in the sprint, the pursuit, mass start? Be a brave man to get a bet against him.
On ski form like that, Patrick, even if he's missing 2 targets and they all start side by side, he rarely misses 2. It could be a triple way to end the season.
So a 39-second margin between first and second at the moment. It's a good race beyond that point, with just 4 seconds between Hofer and Birnbacher. Ustikov with a miss early on really put himself out of contention.
I was just thinking, Martin Fourcade was asked last week in Sochi, because it's at altitude. They were saying, how does that affect you? He says it doesn't. I was born at 2,000 meters. I love altitude.
Artem Prima for Ukraine. The Ukrainian men, Derek Zemlya really their #1 at the moment as far as form is concerned. But the Similienko twins and Grushna are the ones who've stolen all the headlines back home with some fine performances this year. I must say, I think all the athletes will be glad they went to Sochi. Mike, I know it's been a lot of travelling over recent weeks from Oslo to Sochi, and then, of course, I know Sochi's in Russia, but it's still a major journey from Sochi to Khanty-Mansiysk in the middle of Siberia. It's the one resort or the one race venue where I think you need to race it to find out how to race it.
Oh, with the Olympics there next year, you needed to feel, that's a pity, 133 behind Karanashev. You need to feel it. You need to live how you prepare yourself before the race, and the accommodation, of course, these massive wooden chalets, €1 million I hear that they're going to be sold for after the Olympics. So yeah, just the whole feeling around Sochi, you need that.
Oliane Bjorndalen, he's won here on 3 occasions. 2 of those have been sprints, but today he finds himself 1:25 behind. In distance terms, that's closer to 700 metres, somewhere around 700 metres behind Martin Fourcade. He's still at the bottom of the big climb while Fourcade is finishing.
It's a good time. When you look at the time, 1:25 behind, of course, Fourcade is 40 seconds ahead of anybody. So Bjorndalen is still at the sharp end with the rest of the biathlon field, but Fourcade is just different. He's ahead of everybody in terms of shooting and to ski speed. Savitsky, the first time Kazakhstan handed over in a relay in first position. He went first leg on Sunday, and his game is improving almost every day. And he looks cold, as these minus 15 temperatures, well, they don't put the locals off.
Well, we're getting a lot of suggestions in for the best race of the year. I think Fourcade's performance here might go down as the best performance of the year, although I would be thinking along the lines of the mass start in Ruhpolding, where he just dominated, he just imposed his authority on the field, didn't let anyone lead him, controlled the pace